You are invisible. You are omnipotent. This very God that every generation who has ever had the grace of knowing thee have always testified to your goodness. That is the same God that we kneel and bow before. This God is our refuge and our strength, a very present help, even in this time of Janjaweed trouble, even in this time of Fulani rage and terrorism. Therefore, we shall fear no evil. This IPOB shall fear no evil. Even if the whole world is against us, even if Britain intensifies their effort to cross this very light of hope in sub-Saharan Africa, even though they shake the mountains, even though the seas may rise, even though they may give all the weapons and ammunition to the zoological republic, no matter what they do, no matter how they foment their rage, it doesn't matter to us. For God, Chipokika Biama, is in the land of Biafra. We shall never ever be moved. This God of the ancients will help us now and forevermore. For Biafra shall come, and this Lord of hosts is with us. Chipokika Biama, the same God of Jacob. This same God of Shadrach and Meshach and Abednego, this God that never abandons his people, this same God is our refuge, and we proclaim it unashamedly that this God that we kneel and bow before, we shall worship thee, for Biafra is your promise. Your word is yea and amen. Instead of your word not to come to pass, heaven and earth will cease to exist. Upon this very hope we anchor all our belief that Biafra shall come in our time, and we pray that it comes this very year, that your glory may be made manifest in the lives of men, that we may kneel and bow before thee. He said, Mama,
yeah, he say, and he say, there will be Biafrans. I salute all of you. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, good night, depending on your time zone. Good evening to everyone joining us from across the world, from London, from US, from UK, from Biafra land. All, we say welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today. We also appreciate our leaders. We appreciate our Onyendu and our Prime Minister, Simon Ekpa, the former one. We appreciate our current Prime Minister. And we appreciate our Information Minister and our BDF and all of you Biafras gathered this moment. Thank you so much for tuning in. And those that will join us later, I can see the presence of our ministers in the house. Minister James, the African Rep, is here. Ekomdo, Adede, Onyenye, Ekomdo. I saw Minister Love. I don't know if internet asking. Oh, she's here. Ada Ojai Olokpa, Minister Love Ekomdo. I can see Totiville, Minister Toti Ekomdo, Minister Emeka. Minister Ben Ekomdo, Ezebina, Adede Ekomdo, Adede Stomp, Ada Augustine Amedi, Mazi Elias Amedi, Nlemwem Adede Ekomdo Amedi, Adede Monde Amedi Ekomdo, Adede Vision Ekomdo, Holland Ekomdo, Adede Ujain Ponsi Ekomdo, Yahweh, and never good. Hey, the my information come the Prince come the Echoes come the Williams or Guinea come the day too. Oh my goodness me come the Chinedu no. Onyeju no. This is Ada Celine no Ikomdo, Adeda Ama Ikomdo, Chidebere Adede Ikomdo, the come from Rabu Fulani Ikomdo, Media Obiageli Ada Ikomdo, Mr. Rock Ikomdo. Welcome each and every one of you to Briggy Space. Yeah. Today is the day of the Lord, which is 7th February 2026. And today is our fundraising. We are not going to spend a lot of time. We are going to manage the time so that we can end the space on time and then join our fundraising. As usual, Onyenyere, I've seen you here, so I'll send you the co-host. You say I should not be asking. Whenever I see you, I should send the co-host to you. So I've done that. I don't know if Toti will stay for a longer time. I would have also do the same. Yeah, please let me know if you stay. You know how internet behaved. So Onyenyere, one, I've sent the co-host to you. So Biafrans, welcome, welcome, welcome. Before we dive in, please retweet the space. Please, it is very, very important because what we are about to discuss needs to reach as many people as possible because the Nigerian government is spending millions. Okay, Toti, I'm going to send it. Spending millions of dollars right now to make sure you don't hear what we are about to tell you in this place. And we will not, yield to that. We have to do what we are supposed to do. We saw what happened on February 4th and 5th, the way the United States Congress held a fresh hearings on the religious violence in Nigeria, and the former U.S. ambassador at large for international religious freedom, Sam Brownback, gave testimony that should shake the whole world, where he called Nigeria the deadliest place on the planet to be a Christian. Yes, that was what he said. The deadliest place on the planet to be a Christian, not Syria, not Iraq, not even Afghanistan, but Nigeria. You see? And he warned that early warning signs, he said early warning signs of a Muslim on Christian war are brewing across Africa, and Nigeria sits at the center of that danger. He also raised something critical, very, very critical, that connect directly to what we are going to be talking about this night. And he cautioned that involvement from countries such like as China, Russia, Turkey, Saudi, in Nigeria's security environment could further complicate stability if not carefully monitored. So while the US Congress was holding these hearings, while American politicians were there calling Nigeria the deadliest place for Christians, what was Nigerian government doing? Were they mobilizing to protect Christians? The answer is no. Were they arresting terrorists? The answer is no. Were they addressing the crisis? The answer is no. Because on that same very day, 4th February, we could see the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Yusuf Tuga, that one that denied that there was no genocide, that from 2001 till 2025, only 177 Christians were killed. He was hosting the Palestinian ambassador to Nigeria for a high-level diplomatic consultation, according to him. And the meeting, according to the ministry's official statement in his X handle, he said was part of ongoing diplomatic engagement aimed at strengthening bilateral relations between Nigeria and the state of Palestine, while also providing an opportunity to review consular, humanitarian, and regional crises of mutual concern. So if you think about the timing that all this thing is happening, US Congress exposing Nigeria as the deadliest place for Christians, and the response that Nigeria gave, no, they gave their own response to strengthen ties with the Palestine while Christians are being massacred in Benue, in Plateau, in Ebonyi, in Kwara State, all across the Middle Belt. It's like they rang the bell and said, oh yeah, go in and slaughter these people. You see, it gets deeper. And you could see that just few days earlier, which is I think January 27 precisely, Nigeria signed 9 comprehensive agreements with Turkey, including military cooperation and intelligence sharing. So we now have visual evidence that Turkish weapons are being deployed against Biafrans. We saw the video trending early, I think last week or also early this week. And we saw it on February 3rd, circulating, showing how Turkish-made weapons were found in the hands of forces operating in Biafra land. The same Turkey that just signed military deals with Nigeria. The same Turkey that Congressman Brambach warned about. So the space of today will be interconnected because everything is webbed together. And before I start, I would just love to pass the mic to my co-host because I want us to look at the first part of the space in two different pictures. Yeah. And the picture one, we are going to see the Washington, D.C., what happened there, and the national prayer breakfast that Remy was there in, eating and enjoying herself. And if you go to Nigerian Twitter right now, you see the celebrations. Our first lady represented us well. Trump acknowledged her. Oh, Nigeria is on the world stage and blah, 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 blah. And then the second picture will be the 72-hour period that over 300,000 Christians were massacred. I'm not talking of 30. No, I'm not talking of 100. Over 300 Christians were massacred. Communities were burned down, churches were targeted, and I've not seen the Nigerian media covered anything. Instead, they're busy celebrating Remy. So this is the Nigeria that people are living in right now. And this is why Biafrans have become mentally tough, because we have learned that while the Nigerian terrorist government parade themselves abroad, people are dying at home. While they are spending millions on Washington lobbyists, they spend nothing on protecting Christians. They are busy whining and dining with world leaders while the communities are being burnt on what they call ethnic cleansing. So today we are going to see how we can connect all the dots, and then we are also going to look at the foot soldiers, the US Army that are in Nigeria right now, and we will look at the difference between that and the agreement that our brigade had, gone into with the United States of America. We are going to see, because a lot of people are like, oh, if the US are here on ground in Nigeria, what is the difference between that and the alignment, or I think that came under
from Facebook
congressional testimony. No, I've forgotten the title. That Briggy signed with the United States of America. I wanted to use the right word there, but it has skipped my brain now. Yeah, so we are going to look at that as well and see what is the difference. What are we supposed to know so that we don't create anxiety? Yeah. So
criminal.
Those are some of the things that we are going to touch this night, and then we also look at the congressional hearing and all the witnesses and the recommendations that they gave to the Nigerian terrorist government. Even though they gave the first condition to them to disband Hizbah and end Sharia, they have refused to do that. Instead, they are going about spending money and lobbying here and there. So before we start the space fully, I will give the mic to my co-host to greet the house, and please kindly share the space. It's not going to be lengthy because today is our fundraising. So I give you the mic. Totiville, are you there? You have the mic. Say hi to the house, please.
What do you mean by
that? Thank you very much, Tutos, Mr. Tutos, and thank you for hosting us today. And before I send my salutations to every one of us here on the space, I want to first of all send my salutations to our leaders in the person of NNAMDI KANU, who is currently imprisoned in Nigerian prison in Sokoto, and also to our Prime Minister, former Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa, who is also unjustly imprisoned in Finland and prison today. And I also want to send my salutations to our newly elected Prime Minister, His Excellency Mazi Okechukwu NKERE, for his wonderful works. And I say thank you very much to all our leaders that have been fighting assiduously in making sure that the Biafran people are free at the end of the day. And I also want to send my salutations to all the ministers here in the space today. I say thank you for your good work for the Biafran people. And I also want to stand on the existing protocol, although tutors have already mentioned names here. And I say greetings to every one of us that have taken out our time to grace the space today. And I say welcome you all to the Brady space today. And before I hand over the mic to my co-host, Mazi Unyere, I want every one of us to pick a vital point because there is a voice message of our former Prime Minister Mazi Simon Ekpa that Tutos played in the beginning of this space, and it says, as long as the Biafran people continues to stand on their freedom, that he will be there for every one of us. And that brings me back to the space that we had yesterday when I said Biafran should stop centering their freedom on our leaders, because our leaders, have already told us that our focus should be on our freedom and not on them. So I think that every one of us should be able to take that vital point that the reason why that you're fighting today is for your freedom, not because of your leaders, because the Nigerian terrorist government and our enemy have weaponized that fact that whenever they strike our leaders, we get scattered. And that is the reason why we need to be mentally tough at this point in time and tell them that our freedom is not all about our leader, but all about over 80 million Biafrans that are suffering the persecution of the Nigerian terrorist government, that the Nigerian terrorist government are killing on daily basis in Biafra land. And please, we should not also forget to share the space and also make sure that we join the diplomatic fundraising today, which is on Saturday. And also don't forget to support our freedom. And also we have a very beautiful topic here that says Nigerian total security failures has made Biafrans to be mentally tough. And that is the mental toughness that we, the Biafran people, have been able to acquire for ourselves today. And that is why the Nigerian terrorist government are running Esther Skater all over the world today, doing their normal photo and video ops, trying to deceive the world that there is nothing like Christian genocide in Nigeria, of which, but the fact is all over the place that yes, there's Christian genocide in Nigeria today. And we, the Biafran people, will continue to fight until we get our freedom at the end of the day. So thank you very much. I hand over the mic to my co-host, Mazio. Thank you very much, Tutos.
Yeah, can you hear me? Can my voice be heard?
Yes, go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much, our own Toti, for being there as a co-host. Thank you very much, our host, Madam Tutor. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending where you are joining us from. I want to officially greet all Biafrans that have gathered here once again to preach this gospel of redemption. Without wasting much of our time, I want to greet our leaders, Mazi NNAMDI KANU, the supreme leader of the Biafran people. I want to as well greet our former Prime Minister, Mazi Simon Ekpa Njoko, the Obato BA1. I as well want to greet our present Prime Minister, Mazi NKERE. I want to as well greet our Information Minister, our Defense. These are the people who are holding the defense of our land. We must continue doing what we are doing as we are going to go for our Thanksgiving today, because every Saturday is the day we go to our Thanksgiving, go to sow a seed. This is the rightful place we should sow our seed. So I want to say to every Biafran that do not forget that today is Saturday, and you know what we always do on Saturdays. So be reminded. Thank you very much. I will hand over the mic here. Thank you very much, Sister Tutor. Take over the mic. Thank you.
Thank you so much. My talented co-host today is a beautiful team, and starting with this Washington paradox called Mrs. Tinubu, how she was disgraced. You know, disguised as a honor is where we are going to start from before we make other connections, because it is really a shameful thing. I don't know why he left Nigeria to go and attend the national breakfast and prayer breakfast. It's part of the lobbying that we are talking about. Somebody whispered or dropped a note to President Trump and say, oh, you know what? Remy is here. And Trump said, who is Remy? They say, you don't know. The lobby say, you don't know. He said, no. He said, he's the wife to Tinubu. And I'm sure Trump might have asked, so where is the husband? And here they will shield that one. They will conceal that one, because they feel that Donald Trump does not know what is happening in Nigeria. And he did what a normal, sensible person would do. Okay, he said, okay, I recognize the Remy Tinubu. He said he called her, oh, a very respected woman. That was a mockery, and a Christian pastor at the largest church in Nigeria. Largest church that Adeboye has kept quiet for so many months. He has not said anything against the genocide that is going on. All of them in Nigeria, they are mute, because why? They are benefiting from the terrorist country Nigeria. Have you ever seen or heard any way where the terrorists have attacked redemption camp? The answer is no, because what, they have paid millions of naira to protect their camp. So terrorists cannot go there. And who is in charge of Nigeria? Tinubu, who is their brother. The same reason why Sunday Igboho is working freely today, because they are doing tribalistic what? Governing. So if you're a Yoruba person and you are close to Tinubu, you don't have any problem. All your sins will be forgiven. You don't have to say anything. They use money and shut your mouth. So what really happened here? Nigeria said, okay, all our lobbying firm has failed us. Oh yeah, you, Remy, go. Since President Trump is so much interested in the freedom of Christians, oh yeah, go. But this is a woman that I've never seen her with a Bible before. I have never even seen her on a pulpit. I have never even seen her tweet any message concerning the killings. Instead, he was busy receiving a coronation here and there. Even in the same time that she received coronation, Fulani have gone to kill the residents of that community. You know? So, we have seen in the social media how they've gone crazy with all screenshots everywhere. Those that attacked Trump before, like Senator Shehu, who has been attacking Trump every day. He's now praising Trump that he has recognized their useless first lady. Adams Oshomole is also, all of them are jumping out. Oh, you see, even her, the Remy herself, is not saying that Nigerian leaders don't have respect outside, but back home, they don't have respect. Can you imagine? So she doesn't even care about those that have been killed. So when Trump acknowledged her, he wasn't praising Nigeria's handling of Christian persecution. No, he was highlighting the irony of it. He was pointing out the contradiction, because it is totally contradicting. What are you doing there in the assembly of Christians, praying, and you are there sneaking in? If you were that populous in what you were doing and have a lot of confidence in yourself as the first lady, why didn't you go out? Why did you sneak in and somebody had to go and whisper to Donald Trump that you are there? So here is a woman who supposedly should be a Christian pastor, the first lady of Nigeria at a prayer breakfast. And Trump is basically saying you are a Christian leader from Nigeria where Christians are being slaughtered. The news media have failed to, handle this part. Hold on. So that, most people may not have time to listen. Let us play it so that we understand.
For 4 years, ISIS rebuilt, and they have a little bit of ISIS now again. And we knocked the hell out of them the other day in Nigeria because they were killing Christians. You know about that. They were killing Christians. You can't do that. When Christians come under attack, they know they're going to be attacked violently and viciously by President Trump. I know it's not a nice thing to say, but that's the way it is. For 4 years.
And when he wanted to make the comment, extend the comment, saying that, when Christians are attacked, he had to pause And I believe he was looking directly at Remy. And he shook his head, you know, because he doesn't believe that someone who is a first lady of a country can be there without saying anything about the killings that is going on in Nigeria. She couldn't have any suggestion for the husband. Instead, the husband is busy carrying out campaign here and there. You know, 6 weeks earlier, that was, I think, December, yeah, 25th of December, Donald Trump ordered a U.S. military airstrike on Nigerian soil, which was their Christmas gift. Because in his word, ISIS terrorist scum have been targeting and viciously killing, and he repeated that statement again yesterday. Primarily innocent Christians at levels not seen for many years. So Trump bombed Nigeria over Christian killings in December. Then in February, he is sitting across from, Nigerian First Lady at a prayer breakfast. That is not an honor. It is never an honor. That is a confrontation disguised as diplomacy. And the stupid Nigerians who are as stupid as a Choma or Koma, they don't have brain, are they sharing it, praising her after receiving this national or global disgrace? Because people had to turn and look at her. Oh, is she the first lady of a country that they are killing Christians viciously? Oh, is she the first lady? Oh, and Donald Trump is saying a respected woman, a pastor. What kind of fake pastor is this? She is a fake pastor wearing the clothes of a Muslim. A fake pastor that is practicing Sharia. A fake pastor that ran to Ogun and said that she is going to destroy Biafra. Hold on. Hold on. Let's see what I'm talking about here. I hope I can. Yes. This is who we are talking about. So that is the first lady of the terrorist country called Nigeria, attacking the Igbos and threatening us as Biafrans. You see, that is a person that is supposed to be a pastor and protecting her own citizens from the hands of the terrorists. But she did not do that. Instead, she is the one that started the threat. And the Fulani said, what are we waiting for? If the first lady of a country can threaten a particular tribe, which are Biafrans, then what are we waiting for? We have every right to slaughter them. And they've been doing that. That is what they have been doing. So she was there in Washington, D.C. saying there is no genocide. While she was meeting with officials, eating at fancy restaurants, over 300 Christians were massacred in Nigeria in 72 hours. In 72 hours, over 300 Christians were massacred. If you look at between February 3rd and to February 5th, you will see that Kwara, Katsina, and all regions, Enugu, Ebonyi, it's like they just said, Yala, go and kill. They gave them the notification, start slaughtering. So this was coordinated ethnic cleansing that happened within these few days. And this woman was there in Washington, D.C., denying that there is no genocide. We could see in Kwara, witness reported that gunmen rounded up villagers, bound their hands, tied their hands to the back, and executed them. Then they touched homes, they touched shops, killed people. The attackers were jihadists who had been preaching in the villages. You see what is happening? They come because they have studied the terrain. We have discussed how they operate. They will come and begin to map out, begin to get signal who is living here, who is living there. Are they jihadis? Are they Christians? What time can we attack? What time will they be at home? What time will they be in their different shops? They have studied the terrain and they have first-hand information. And then these people now disguise themselves as preachers and started preaching, demanding that local people should abandon Nigeria and submit to Sharia. The same Sharia the United States Congress told Nigeria, stop Sharia and disband Hizbah. People are being slaughtered today because they refuse. They refuse to submit to Sharia. So when the villagers refused to submit to Sharia, the militants opened fire and killed them. These are Muslims, though. How much knew Biafrans that are Christians and the Judaism people? These are Muslims that already they are practicing their religion, but just because they don't want to be radicalized, they slaughtered them. Because why? They are following the template of Usman Danfodio and Ahmadu Bello. This is the agenda. This is the agenda of Turkey. We will come to that later. I just want to start with this mad woman. I don't know if you are still hearing me. In Katsina, the local government chairman said security were informed about the attack, but they did not arrive, which is usual and normal, until after the massacre was complete. Security were informed. Remember when I think, was it Adamawa governor that said that he has been contacting the security men to go and engage a terrorist? They will say, no, we cannot go until we get approval from Abuja. Now, the security were informed about the attack in Katsina, but they couldn't do anything because there was no approval from Abuja for them to be engaged. And who is in this Abuja? Shetima and his group. Musa is in Abuja right now. The same Musa that said there will be no what? Ransom payment to terrorists. Now they are negotiating with terrorists. They are still paying ransom money to terrorists. Terrorists will use this money and buy more weapons for the next attack. Where is Musa today? Musa cannot come out and condemn and expose those that are funding and paying the ransom to the terrorists. We saw in the video day before yesterday, they claimed that the 177 people that were kidnapped in Kaduna Church were released. Imagine them being released wearing uniform with face cap, bottles of Fanta and bottles of water. They were all smiling inside Costa bus as they were alighting from the bus. They did not release them for free. They have paid ransom. Where was Musa when this ransom was being paid to them? He disappeared. He has gone into his shelf. And here is what is really getting so insidious in the whole thing. While this was happening, while bodies were still being counted, while families were burying their loved ones, what was trending on social media? Tinubu's wife, Remi Tinubu, represents Nigeria well in Washington, D.C. Trump acknowledged our first lady. Nigeria is on the global stage. Do you see the propaganda machinery at work right now? They don't want you to carry the news or carry, keep on giving them the trending news. On the other side, that Donald Trump said how they targeted the ISIS, how they carried out a strike. They tried to bury that and started projecting Remi because that was the target, that was the aim and objective why they sent her to Washington, D.C. So they take a moment of national disgrace. Our first lady being in Washington, D.C., while our people are being scattered. And they spin it into a victory, you see, and flood social media with it. This is why mental toughness matters a lot. Because if you are not mentally tough enough to see through the propaganda, you will believe it. That is the next thing that will happen to you. You will think that things are fine. You will think that Nigeria is respecting international, is respected internationally. That will be what you'll be thinking. While your brothers and sisters are being ethnically cleansed at home. But Biafrans, we have developed immunity to this propaganda. We have seen it many, many times, and we know the playbook very well, and we refuse to be gaslight. It's not possible. You see? So when a sitting president bombs your country on a Christmas day and then 6 weeks later sit in a room with your first lady at a prayer breakfast, that is not reconciliation, my people. I'm now talking to the one Nigerianist that are so unstable and are easily, swayed away because they don't want to think. That is a power move. That Trump is saying, I acted, you failed, but I had to act to protect Christians that you were supposed to protect as a pastor, not only ordinary pastor, as a first lady, according to them. And everybody in this room, they knew about it, that this woman had failed. So, you know, Trump is not diplomatic. He's very blunt in whatever he has to say. And he owed nobody apology. So when he called Tinubu's wife a Christian pastor at the largest church in Nigeria, he was highlighting the absurdity. You are a Christian leader in a country where Christians are the #1 target of terrorism globally. And you are here sitting in the same room with me. What a shame. Because what is happening now, Nigerian media wants you to think, oh, Trump was honoring Nigeria. No, Trump was exposing Nigeria. He was calling them out in front of the international community while maintaining the courtesy protocol of a formal event. That's what Trump did. That is what he did. And the proof, just yesterday, no, I think which day, day before yesterday, the US Congress held briefing specifically on Christian persecution in Nigeria. We saw congressional witnesses called Nigeria the deadliest place on earth to be a Christian. How does that match with the accolade they claim that Remy received from Donald Trump? It doesn't tally. They are preparing sanctions. They are pushing for accountability. You think Trump doesn't know all this? He knows. Or you think he acknowledged Tinubu's right without knowing what his own Congress is doing? He was sending a message. We see you. We know what you are doing. And there will be consequences. So coming to dress very well and sit in the same room with me does not change anything. It doesn't. So we Biafrans, with our mental toughness, we displayed it in action. We did not celebrate the propaganda because we know they are all false. So we didn't fall for this manufactured narrative. Instead, we had to gather evidences and then reply to those that are posting. If you have not done that and you are in this space, what are you waiting for? This is time for media war. As they are trying to bury the work of Abrigi, we have to come out. As they are beginning to use psychological warfare, we have to come out. Because the template that they are bringing out is to do what? Undermine the work of our lobbyists, Biafra Republic government lobbyists, Mazi Elias. We will come to that very soon. This is mental toughness, the ability for us to see reality clearly, even when everyone around you is being fed with lies. That is mental toughness. The discipline to document truth, even when the propaganda machine is working overtime to bury it, will come out. Like what we did yesterday. We came out. I said enough is enough. Stop confusing Biafrans. We displayed it yesterday. Mental toughness. When a Choma Okoma and her team brought out a panic memo to frighten and threaten Biafrans to go into emotional, what would I call it, trauma. We came out yesterday and said enough is enough. You cannot confuse Biafrans. It is not possible. And they know exactly what they did. Because they know that Biafrans have emotional attachment to Simon Ekpa. So they capitalize on that. And we came out and said, no, it can never happen. We are here to hold the ground for our leaders. Our ex-prime minister can never be repatriated back to Nigeria. Because they know what they are doing. That is what we are saying about what? Emotional what? We have to be emotionally tough and not fight our freedom with emotion. I don't know if I'm being heard.
Yes, you are. You are.
Okay,
Go
thank you,
ahead.
my brother. So that is what is happening. Oh, yeah, come on. Hey, if you love Simon Ekpa, hey, bring this. Oh, Simon will be deported. Oh, Simon will be doing, and our people will run to them and donate money to them. The money that they would have brought to the right channel so that we can funnel it to use it judiciously. That is what I mean by mental toughness, because we have seen a lot of it. So we are not frightened. You know, I will stop here before I go to the next session about the lobbying scandal. I don't even anybody have anything to say with respect to this what is her name, Remy, before we proceed.
Yes, my tutor.
Oh, Mama,
Yes,
welcome. Please share the space.
good morning,
Welcome.
my dear. Dear friends, good morning. Are you hearing me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. When you're talking, what came to my mind is Nigerians have no sense. Their brain is not working. According to ndị Igbo, Nigerians amaghị anya elerele, amaghị nke arọrọ arọ. If they know, they won't be doing what they're doing. Remember when Buhari was alive, at the first time Donald Trump was the president, he openly asked Buhari why the Christians are being killed. Instead, Nigerians to understand and pick it up from there, that somebody outside is recognizing what is happening. They look at it, oh, he's insulting our president. Foolish people. The one thing I like about Trump is that he don't have time to sugarcoat any stupid thing. He call it by its name. You see, God has a way of doing things. He allowed Remy to find her way to that breakfast meeting, just to put her in global podium, to disgrace her and disgrace her husband and disgrace Nigeria. But as stupid as Nigerians are, you see how they turn it around? Saying they acknowledge them. Acknowledge, yes, you can be acknowledged in a positive way. You can also be acknowledged in a negative way. Do they see that they are being slammed in the open? What Trump did was just the same thing Jesus did in the temple. You know, people who came to the temple didn't know that Satan was there or his representative. They thought all of them came to worship. But when that evil spirit acknowledged the presence of Jesus, he rebuked him. I told him to be quiet. This is not the time. People there did not know that Remy was there and is a pastor, supposedly, is also the first lady of a terrorist country. So that's why God did not allow people to live without acknowledging her presence. So President Trump, being who God made him to be, acknowledged him just the same way Jesus acknowledged that evil spirit in the temple. You see how their feeble-mindedness directed them to say, oh, he acknowledged our first lady. That's credit to us. Stupid. They just paid, is it 9 million to say there's no Christian genocide? That's exactly what Trump was alluding to. You're a pastor. You're a first lady. And all this thing is going on. Christians are being slaughtered. You don't say a word. Shame on him. On Remy, shame on her. You see, Trump wouldn't come to their level to, say the way they think he will say it. But anybody with brain understood what he meant. Everybody understood what he meant. Oh, here comes the first lady. Here comes the pastor. In your country, where you have authority to speak, if you can't speak in the Senate Assembly, she's also a senator. If you can't speak there, can't you speak from the pulpit? Big time shame. Nigeria is stupid. They will be collecting shame as they go along. They want to confuse the world. The world already know who they are. That's, again, God allowed what happened in Kwara to happen. Okay, let them deny that one. Have they said anything yet? Have they said anything yet? They will, or anything they do is for our benefit. Any word they speak is for our benefit. Any move they make is for our benefit. They will be dragging themselves to the international podium to be disgraced, so that there will be no ambiguity that Nigeria is a failed state, is a terrorist country. I rest my case.
Yeah, thank you very much, Minister Tutos, are you there?
Let's refresh.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm here.
All right, you can go.
Yeah, and come back again. Yes, we're gonna.